Now at 10, a survey among the homeless population in Joplin aims to connect them with resources. Plus, 2 police officers in the St. Louis area are hospitalized after being shot. And reaction to reports that Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is planning to retire.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A study gets underway aimed at addressing the challenges of homelessness in the 4 states. This is KOAM News at 10. Every January, organizations aimed at helping the homeless go out and conduct a point-in-time count. The count is made up of sheltered and unsheltered people on a single night. Today, crews from Economic Security in Joplin went out to find people living without shelter to get information from them to be able to provide better resources in the future.
We usually bring information about local resources. I brought some snacks, just information that I can share. And we'll go out and we'll ask if we can ask them some questions. We use that information locally for planning.
The count is broken into 2 parts. A survey will go to all local shelters and transitional housing tonight. Also, teams will go out in Jasper and Newton counties to find people experiencing homelessness. Some patients face long wait times at hospital emergency rooms in Missouri. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services sent out a statement asking people not to go to hospital ERs to get tested for COVID-19. And that was one of the topics of today's Freeman briefing, where Dr. Ron McNabb says wait times have gone up. He says in some cases, patients have been in there for 15 hours or more. In a statement, Mercy Hospital officials say they've seen a lot of people show up to the ER just for COVID testing. They agree with the Department of Health's statement that the ER is meant for true emergencies, and the COVID testing is leading to long wait times. Mercy suggested people use their convenient care clinics for testing rather than the ER. Another cold night out there, Doug Heddy.
It is. It's cold. Temperatures have been sitting right around the freezing mark as we've really gone through all day long. We got clouds during the afternoon hours, and then we're trying to get a few little light snow showers out there. 31. That was it. We started at 14, so a cold start during the morning hours. And you can see some light little snow showers popping up on the radar. All of this is not reaching the ground as of yet. Over the next few hours, we will saturate that atmosphere a little bit, and we'll get some flurries. Just a few flakes flying, maybe a quick little burst of light snow, and that is just about it. Most of the more moderate snow will stay down across eastern Oklahoma and then pushing into western parts of Arkansas. Very weak little wave, but some light snow showers, light flurries over the next couple hours, kind of rotating through after about 2 or 3 o'clock. All of these are gone, and then we start looking pretty good as we head toward the weekend. We're going to check that out here in a bit.
See you then. 2 St. Louis police officers are hospitalized after being shot in neighboring Ferguson, Missouri this afternoon. One is in very critical condition. Police Chief John Hayden says the 2 officers were in a marked squad car together when they spotted a car believed to have been involved in an overnight killing. When the officers approached the car, the occupants opened fire.
Yeah, it's just a tough time to be a first responder. I mean, we're hearing about critical incidents daily. And it's just tough, hey, officers out here working hard, hey, they're doing everything that they can to keep people safe, and we keep having these critical incidents.
Hayden says it isn't clear if the officers returned fire. One officer was struck in the leg, the other was struck in the abdomen. Police arrested 4 people in that car. Top Republicans have pushed their congressional redistricting plan through the GOP-dominated Kansas legislature without much trouble. An expected court battle looms after today's legislative action over whether the proposed map goes too far in hurting the state's only Democrat in Congress. The House's 79-37 vote sends Democratic Governor Laura Kelly a bill that would split the Kansas City area into 2 congressional districts and move the liberal northeast Kansas City of Lawrence into a district with central and western Kansas. The Senate approved that measure last week. Republicans in the Missouri Senate are fighting over how to divvy up that state's 8 congressional districts. Senators on yesterday worked behind closed doors to compromise on new district lines. A plan backed by GOP leaders is projected to continue current political divide of 6 Republican and 2 Democratic representatives. But some Republicans want to split the Democratic stronghold of Kansas City among multiple districts to give Republicans a shot at winning 7 seats. Justice Stephen Breyer, the senior member of the Supreme Court's liberal wing, plans to retire in June after nearly 28 years on the bench. Multiple sources, including 2 White House officials and a senior Democratic congressional staffer, confirmed Breyer's intention to step down to CBS News. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
With Justice Stephen Breyer expected to retire within months, President Biden will soon get a chance to fill his first Supreme Court vacancy. The 83-year-old liberal justice, appointed by President Clinton in 1994, plans to step down at the end of the court's current term. The court would keep its 6-3 conservative advantage when President Biden nominates his successor. The top candidates are all sitting judges. The frontrunner, 51-year-old federal appeals court judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, is a Harvard Law School graduate who was law clerk for Justice Breyer. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the president stands by his campaign pledge to nominate a black woman. Wednesday, he briefly addressed the nomination.
I'll be happy to talk about this later. I'm going to get into this issue, okay?
Democrats, who now hold a razor-thin majority in the Senate, want the process to move quickly.
We want to get this done as soon as possible.
Senator Chuck Schumer looked back on Breyer's nearly 3-decade legacy.
He had huge impact on people's lives in terms of voting rights, women's rights and reproductive rights, in terms of the environment, and maybe most of all on the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, making sure it stayed.
We don't even know who the nominee is yet, so.
Across the aisle, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said it's too early to tell whether Republicans might try to block the president's eventual pick. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Breyer's expected retirement would follow a months-long campaign from progressives urging him to let the president name his successor while Democrats retain control of the Senate. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. has delivered its written response to Russia in an effort to ease tensions at the Ukraine border. But he made the U.S. position clear, rejecting Russia's demand that Ukraine be permanently barred from joining NATO. President Biden is warning Russian President Vladimir Putin he will be personally sanctioned if he invades Ukraine. Moscow denies it plans to invade, even though there are 100,000 Russian troops at the border. The White House says it may soon deploy the 8,500 U.S. forces currently on alert because it takes time to get them into position. U.S. troops would not go beyond NATO's eastern flank. The Federal Reserve is preparing to raise interest rates. However, the central bank isn't doing so just yet and is leaving rates at near zero for now. In its announcement, the Fed cited high inflation and a strong labor market as the reasons behind its decision. Interest rates have been low for a very long time. The Fed slashed them to near zero in March of 2020 when the pandemic hit, but indicated last month that there would be multiple rate hikes through 2022. Coming up, Missouri Southern gives students a detailed look at all of the student organizations available. Plus, the Galena, Kansas Library gives kids a history lesson about the Sunshine State just in time for Kansas Day. The Cherokee Nation is offering cash incentives for people to produce TV shows and movies on the tribe's 14-county reservation in northeastern Oklahoma. Tribal leaders today announced that beginning on March 1st, the Cherokee Nation Film Office will take applications for cash rebates of up to $1 million a year to cover production expenses. It'll also offer increased funding for using Native American employees and Native-owned businesses. Kids at the Galena, Kansas Library today learned about the Sunflower State. The library hosted a storytime event centered around Kansas Day, a day recognizing when the state became the 34th state back in 1861. Organizers say with Kansas Day coming up, it was the perfect time for a history lesson.
So at our library, each week we host a story time. And this week we chose to focus on Kansas Day, which is Saturday. And we just wanted to use this time to familiarize our young early readers with our Kansas facts, symbols, and the importance of the state of Kansas.
Kansas Day was first celebrated in 1877 by school children in Paola. Being involved in student organizations is a big part of the college experience for a lot of people, but some organizations might not be well known. Well, Missouri Southern wanted to make sure students know what's available, so they hosted Campus Involvement Day. It was a chance for students to speak with representatives of the organizations, get information, and enter giveaways.
I think it's very important for a student to get involved outside the classroom. Number one, it makes their collegiate experience a lot better. But number two, it can really help them make connections.
That event was in the Billingsley Student Center. A little bit later, a rare snowstorm hitting parts of Europe is causing chaos on roads and at airports.
Plus, we're going to see not a snowstorm, but some flurries and light snow showers tonight. Well, look at that coming up.
Easy.
Definitely turned out to be a cold day for us today. Temperatures only right around freezing. I was hoping we get into the mid to upper 30s, but the clouds kind of filtered in a little bit quicker on us today. And we've been watching some flurries, some light little snow showers trying to develop over the past couple hours. Here's what's going on. You can see the radar lighting up. It is snowing out there, but the surface is very dry. So as the snow falls, it evaporates before it makes it to the ground. However, as snow continues to fall, saturates that layer, and then we start to get some flurries, and then we start to get some light snow showers. Not going to be a big deal, but you can see the pockets rotating through over the past couple hours. So where it is snowing, that atmosphere is saturating, but none of this is reaching the ground. It may be reaching the ground a little bit down toward Veneta, but that is really just about it. The heaviest snow will stay across the eastern parts of Missouri and pushing Oklahoma, and then pushing into western parts of Arkansas. All we are going to see from this is some light flurries, maybe a burst or two of light snow, and that is really just about it as this little weak wave rotates off toward the east over the next several hours. So we'll have some light snow showers, some light flurries as we go through the overnight hours tonight. I think most of these will be out of here by 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then it's done, and then that's it. That's all we're going to see throughout the overnight hours. If we would get a burst of a little bit of light snow, if at most, maybe a dusting. That's it. So really nothing as these flurries and light snow showers continue to work through tonight. All right, looks okay. Here's a live shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, right on the west side, but it looks okay. It's cold out there. Temperatures still for most of us are sitting right around 30 to 32 degrees. We're going to hold fairly steady as we go through the rest of the overnight hours for us tonight. Here's 7th and Range Line. Looks pretty good, just the cloudy skies across the region. This weak little wave continues to roll east, and if you look out toward the west, nothing's really going on. That means our weather's pretty quiet as we go through the next few days. Light little flurries, light little snow showers for us tonight. The clouds stick around through the morning hours, but by the afternoon, I do think we'll see partly sunny skies. Temperatures warmer, but still chilly. 42 by noon, high temp at 46. Northerly winds, they're going to be light at about 5 to 15. There is a weak front that drops through late tomorrow afternoon, so this cools us down tomorrow night. We go down into lower 20s, a little bit cooler on Friday, but still not bad. We could get a few flurries Friday morning, and then I think we'll top out near 40 during the afternoon. Weekend looks great. Near 50 on Saturday, actually mid-50s, near 50 on Sunday. Monday near 60. Next storm system comes in on Tuesday. This looks like rain. As the colder air filters in, we could go over to snow Tuesday night and into Wednesday, but this is 6 days away, but definitely something we want to watch as we go through the next few days. All right, 46 tomorrow, 41 on Friday, 54 on Saturday, 51 on Sunday, near 60 on Monday. So really temperature is pretty good, and then the bottom drops out by the middle of next week.
Oh, well, pretty nice in the meantime.
Yeah,
really,
not bad.
For this time of year. Thanks, Todd. There's backlash brewing in Europe over a rare and severe snowstorm that's causing chaos on the roads and at airports. Tina Kraus reports.
Thousands of cars are stuck in their tracks after a blizzard shut down the most modern highway in Greece. Outraged drivers spent the night trapped in their vehicles in freezing temperatures. He says, "I've been stuck here for more than 24 hours and we haven't moved an inch." Heavy snow doesn't hit the Greek capital very often.
It's really beautiful, and it's rare that we get to we get to experience this snow in Greece.
But this is the second year in a row several inches have blanketed beaches in Athens and caused chaos on the roads. In neighboring Turkey, rescue crews spent the night digging out cars and families. The storm pounded Istanbul, dumping 31 inches of snow in some areas. A bus camera caught the moment an icy blast nearly knocked a woman off her feet. At the airport, flights were grounded, stranding passengers and provoking protest. We need protest! We need protest! Those not in such a rush found beauty in the winter wonderland. And while the snow will be around for a while in Turkey, back in Greece, people are quickly snapping photos with Frosty before he melts away. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
The Greek government is offering compensation during the extreme weather, giving drivers stranded in the snowstorm the equivalent of about $2,000 each. Coming up in sports, we're going to hear from the Missouri Southern baseball team as they prepare for next week's season opener. Yeah, baseball, and the Missouri Southern women aiming to push their winning streak to 6 games against Rogers State on the basketball court. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more after the break.
The Missouri Southern Lions are back on the court tonight for a home doubleheader against Rogers State. On the women's side, Southern is one of the hottest teams in the league right now. The Lions have won 5 in a row and entered the day. It's 1 game back of first place in the MIAA. Early on, Lacey Stokes spins and hits the jumper. First points of the night. The Lions fall behind, but they finish out the first quarter on an 11-0 run. Here's Amaya Johns. 3 from the top of the key. 3-point game after the first. Now, early on in the second quarter, Johns knocks down another one. 11 points tonight for Amaya Johns. Missouri Southern pulling away up 37-22 at half. The second half, Lacey Stokes keeps control, beats the shot clock. She finishes with 13 points, 10 assists, 6 boards. Here's one of those 10 assists, giving it off to Maddie Stokes. Maddie leads the Lions with 16 points, 7 rebounds. A more unselfish play here. Johns to Lane Skiles. Skiles adds 9. Missouri Southern rolls by Rogers State 73-56.
We knew that we weren't playing to the best of our ability and that we kind of came out soft, and that's not the team that we are. So we kind of all just looked at each other and said that we just need to pick it up or they were going to win.
I feel like after this weekend, we really kind of figured out how good we can really be. And as long as we stick to, that confidence in ourselves and in each other, knowing that we can be successful as long as we're playing together, it just kind of has fueled the momentum for us going into these other games and for the rest of the season.
To the men's game now, Lions trying to sweep the season series from the Hillcats after beating them by 14 in December. In the first, Avery Taggart heating up, sinks one from deep. He scores a team-high 19. The same spot, different dude, Lawson Jenkins, also in double figures. Hits the triple there. Timeout, Rogers State. Then Winston Desasau from the other side. He adds 16. It's 42-31 Lions at half. Now in the second, Stan Scott knocks down the 2. Then coming to the near side, step back jumper. Scott, huge night, 18 points, 15 rebounds, and a mid-game shower. Southern dominates Rogers State 84-63. The AFC Championship game in Kansas City is now just 4 days away. The Kansas City Chiefs welcome in the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday, aiming to move on to the Super Bowl for the 3rd consecutive season. Now, Sunday's game will be the second meeting of the season between the Chiefs and Bengals. Cincy beat Kansas City 34-31 in Cincinnati just a few weeks ago. In that game, Chiefs couldn't stop that dude, wide receiver Jamar Chase. Chase ended the game with 266 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns.
They took advantage of some one-on-one opportunities, and it was accurate throws, good coverage awareness, and Jamar made some great plays. They were on the same page, against some of the zone coverages. Chiefs do a great job of employing a variety of schemes and, trying to keep you off balance. And I thought that Joe and Jamar did a good job being on the same page and making the most of their opportunities.
The Missouri Southern baseball team is just 6 days away from their first game of the season. They'll kick off their schedule on Tuesday at Southwestern Oklahoma State. Southern was 30-13 last year and finished 3rd place in the MIAA. Now, they do lose some key pieces like National Pitcher of the Year Zach Parrish, But they do return some big-time players, including catcher Tommy Stevenson, outfielder Jordan Fitzpatrick, who were both top 5 in the league in runs batted in last season.
We got a lot of leaders this year, a lot of returning guys, and we got a lot of young guys looking to contribute too. So I think it's going to be a big deal for us to show them the ropes this year and really get them in the swing of things.
We got guys like Fitzpatrick or Kuziak or Stevenson or Milas and Logan Van Wy, and these guys are back, and so those guys are great players for us too, and so they'll step into that role if they didn't do some of that last year, and then we got some good young freshmen with Muskowski and Parker, just to mention a few. So those guys are going to play roles for us, and we're excited to get those guys out there and see what they can do.
And that's it for sports. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Christopher DeMoss joined the U.S. Army in 2006. The Erie, Kansas native was stationed in Iraq, and we salute Specialist Christopher DeMoss, a four-state hero. Getting in your car and flying to your holiday destination could be reality in just a few years. That's according to Aircar, whose prototype stretched its wings above the capital of Slovakia. Its wings are fully retractable, and it has a ballistic parachute. The Slovak Transport Authority recently gave it an airworthiness certificate. What makes it a flying car versus an airplane, I guess, is the fact that the wings retract, and you can do that. You can drive it on the highway as well. But that's still not what they promised us in the Jetsons.
No, they didn't, but I'm still trying to figure out how do we keep all these little random gnats of cars from not running into each other.
They're going to have self-driving cars on the highway soon enough, and they're going to figure it out, I guess.
We'll see.
Or maybe they'll run into each other.
Maybe.
I don't know.
All right, some flurries, some light snow showers tonight. Not a big deal. Dusting max. 46 tomorrow, 50s by the weekend.
Final sports notes.
You can check out our full story with the Missouri Southern baseball team on the sports page at KOAMNewsNow.com.
Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
So